So we are here to talk about writing, our own writing projects, writing in general, pencils.
Two-headed right, two heads are better than one-headed right. Two heads are better than one-headed right. Two heads are better than one-headed right. Two heads are better than one.
Welcome back to week 2 of the Two-Headed Writer. Again, recorded from 2 separate rooms in the same house. A week from now, we will be recording for the first time with me in Iowa. This is just extra practice before that fateful day. So, writing. What's been happening?
Well, I am working on my work in progress. I put in a lot of hours this past week, and I have about a chapter and a half, 2 chapters maybe, left to go. So I'm getting very close. I kind of ran into a roadblock with the old why don't they just, like when you watch a movie or something, you're like, why don't they just tell each other? Why don't they just call the police? Why don't they just do the obvious thing? My characters are supposed to be in this scary situation where the bad guys might actually do something bad. And I'm like, oh, this could be resolved peacefully, I think. Because the characters in my head are resolving it peacefully. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do I do?
I haven't really gotten to a point where I've struggled with the specific why don't they just question, but on my previous project I was working on, I did reach a point where I was like, just why? Like, why and how is this happening? And I didn't have an explanation. And it wasn't just like a specific event, it was like the entire catalyst of the book. It was like, how did that happen though? That's when I decided I had too big of a question and I needed to take a break and work on something where I knew how and why the story was happening.
Well, Evalyn, I know what your first work in progress was about, and I'm wondering, sometimes with a fantasy, when weird things happen, it's better just not to even explain them, right? Like the explanation makes it dumb, but if you just don't explain it, you just make it seem so real that the reader just accepts what's happening, then that's better.
Right. So the issue there was my characters kept wondering, how the heck did we get into this situation? Like, it didn't make sense for them not to question it. And I felt the mere act of them questioning it brought to light the fact that it didn't make sense. And I'm sure that I can come up with an explanation when I go back to the project, but I wanted to be able to, keep moving forward on something. So I just started a new outline for a project that I had been, thinking about on the back burner. I just scooched it up to the front burner.
All right, yeah, that makes sense to me. We also finished the Neil Gaiman masterclass, and so that was cool. I think I'm going to go back and go through all the downloads. There was a workbook with each chapter, and I'm going to go back and do some of those exercises just for myself. So I don't know if you want to do that too, Evalyn. We can talk about them, but I plan to.
You haven't sent me all of them. You've only sent me like the first 2, so you need to at least send them my way so I can look at the rest of them.
I will send those your way, and maybe we'll talk about, if we pick one to do together, we'll talk about it in the podcast. I mean the vlog. I said podcast.
No, it's a vlogcast. It's you coined a new term. We have to use it.
Next question. How are we coming on our book together? We have been sending out queries, and we've sort of come to the end of our list. We have a handful of queries left to send out, and then it's just kind of a waiting game from there.
So far, we haven't heard back negatively or positively from anybody. So I guess we're at the no news is good news stage of querying, where it's like they haven't asked for anything more, but they haven't rejected us yet.
Yeah, that could be a good thing. I do think that the previous 2 times we sent out queries, we got some answers back. By now, we would have gotten answers back by now. Like, we got them back more quickly. On the other hand, it is summer, and some people are busy. But I don't know. It's hard to know. But I'm going to take it as good news too. So no news is good news. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'm in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe we made it past an assistant, and now we're in the second pile that the actual agent reads. That's what I'm thinking. That's my theory. But also, I've just been watching a bunch of Jane the Virgin, so maybe it's just that. They have an interesting take on publishing in that show.
We're getting ready to send out those last few queries, and this week, Evalyn, you just about killed me, I think, because I'm still editing the query letter.
Yes.
And
yes, he is. It was so frustrating. He's like, I made changes. I'm like, what?
But you think it's better now, right? You do think it's better now.
Yes, I do agree that it is better, and I think it does help kind of clear up what sets our middle grade book apart from other middle grade books in terms of our goals for our world and what it will do for our readers. But it was just frustrating because I was like, really? we're almost done.
We are now querying with the 30th version of the query letter.
Oh no, that's so many versions. I hate that. We have 7 versions of the actual book?
We have 7 drafts of the book, but each draft involved multiple revisions of each chapter. So I'm sure if we count every little revision we made, we'd have 30 versions of the book too. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I was just gonna ask if you've read anything lately that you enjoyed or something. That's part of writing.
Yeah, I haven't read anything lately. I finished my Asimov magazine and waiting for the next one.
I'm reading a lot, and I've read 2 books that I really enjoyed and 2 books that I sort of enjoyed.
Tell us about one of the books you really enjoyed and what about the writing made you enjoy it.
Okay, so I talked about this book a little bit in the previous video, but I finished it since then. It's The Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. It's the book I used as an example of I like quests, and there's a quest in this book. I was excited to be reading a young adult novel with a quest in it because when I was researching quests, like what goes in a quest, how does it work, what do you need, a lot of the examples were either the Iliad or middle grade books. So it was exciting to find a book that's been somewhat successful that is comparable to my book in terms of the plot structure.
Hey, Evalyn, tell me one thing you're most looking forward to about writing at college.
So I'm actually taking Playwriting 1 this semester, and I'm also taking Foundations of Creative Writing, but I don't know, just looking at the, I got my book list, not the syllabus, but I got my list of the books that I need for class, and I just got weirdly excited because we're going to be reading a lot of plays, and then we get to write our own play and like workshop our own play. And I know that we'll probably be reading work in class in Foundations of Creative Writing as well, but just the idea, as somebody who does videos and who really loves movies and theater, the idea of like writing something and then also like getting to see it adapted and performed, that really, I'm excited about that. English classes in high school, most of the writing we do is like essays. I know I'm going to have to write essays, but the fact that I'm going to be able to get to do like creative stuff, and that's what I'm graded on, like that excites me.
Yay! Now tell us something that you're dreading about writing in college.
I'm just afraid that like maybe all of the other kids are going to be a lot better than me.
I think that's normal. I think every kid in the room is feeling that same anxiety. And I think that you can't go around comparing your own writing to others that way. You need to focus on making your own writing better than your own previous writing. And as long as you're doing that, you're on the right path.
So that's all we got. That's all the time we have for this week. We will be back next week, and you'll get to see a corner of my room in Iowa. I might have done some writing because it will be my first day of my honors workshops. I don't know which workshop I'm in though yet, so we'll find out. You'll find out next time. But if you like this video and you want to keep following us on our journey through writing, you should totally subscribe to this channel. We're going to be putting out new videos every Wednesday, fingers crossed. Leave a thumbs up and comment down below telling us about all of your writing struggles or triumphs. We want to hear from you guys. Until next time, just remember, two heads are better than one.
I'm going to stop the recording and do something that we're not going to normally get to do when we make this.
Come bug me?
Yes.
All right, bye-bye.